Today I'm going to discuss probates with you. What are probates? Well, when somebody dies, they have to administer the estate. They have to take care of the assets and the liabilities. So usually you have to go to probate court for that. Now, if you go to probate court, usually you will have a will. In the will, an executor is named. If you don't have a will, that's called intestate, and an administrator will be appointed by the court. Okay, over here you'll see under probates that this is not fast. This is a very slow process. It takes 6 months to a year. I've even seen them go on as long as 2 years. You need an executor or an administrator. Again, the executor will be named by the will. The administrator will be named by the court. Now, if there's real estate involved, and we're assuming real estate's involved because that's the kind of business we're in, then the sales price must be 90% of the appraised value. The court will require an appraisal, and it has to come in at least 90%. If it comes in at 88%, then it's not going to fly. Okay. The court also requires a 10% cash down payment. That could be steep sometimes, depending on the price of the property. There's also in court subject to an overbidding process. If I take this to court for $100,000, Mike could show up and overbid the 110, 105, whatever, and he gets the property. I don't, even though I took it to court to buy it. So let's explain the overbidding process a little bit here. On the first $10,000, $10,000, you have to put up 10% of the money, which is $1,000. Okay? And if anything over $10,000, you have to put up 5% more for the overbid. Anything more increases will be set by the court. Okay, here's an example. The original bid was $100,000. 10% of the first $10,000 is $1,000. 5% of the other $90,000 is $4,500. When you add both those together, you get $5,500. You add those on to the original price. So your first overbid would be $1,055. Any more overbids over that, the court will set it. Okay. Do you have to go through that process? Not at all. They have something called the Independent Administration of Estates Act. And most probates in California go through this act. Okay? The executor does not need permission to do things. They do need approval, but they do not need permission. There's also no overbidding. I love that personally, because I'd like to buy something for $50,000 that might be worth $100,000. If there's overbidding, everybody's going to show up and overbid that one. You also do not need a cash deposit. It's up to the executor to decide what the deposit's going to be, not the court. And the executor has to file a notice of proposed action. If they're selling the property to me, the court needs to know about it, and so they will file the notice of proposed action to the court and to get a stamp of approval, basically. I'm Floyd Brown, and if you need to know any more information, you can go to my Facebook page and check out all the stuff there.